good friend from Seven Kids. Good evening. Welcome once again to the Workers' Voice, as we always do on behalf of the leadership of our party, Dr. Thompson Fountain, our leader, our deputy leader, Mr. Clement Masler, President, Mr. Lennox Linton, Vice President, Mrs. Francisca Joseph, and every other member of the United Workers' Party. I just want to welcome you in every way to this Workers' Voice. Tell a friend, tell a neighbor that the Workers' Voice is on. Remember, we have a big activity coming up this weekend. Not this weekend, tomorrow. Tomorrow in Roseau, the match, and you will hear a lot about that tonight. So prepare yourself to be here with us tonight, tomorrow in downtown Roseau for a very big activity. We'll be discussing that tonight. But before we go, as we always do, we always reach out and extend sympathies to those of you who have lost loved ones. I don't want abroad. Just want to reach out and touch the family of Mr. Ferdinand Louis Osors Renan, who passed away earlier this week. I want to extend sympathies to Selma, Fabian, and all the other members of the family, Louisma in Salisbury. I want to reach out and touch each and every one of you, family and friends of Ferdinand Louis. Also, family and friends of Mr. Orville Martin of Granby, who resided in Salisbury, to all his family in Granby and Salisbury, Harrison, Pastor Lloyd, Sophia, and all the others. Just want to reach out and touch you this evening there, the passing of Mr. Orville Martin. Miss Martin to tell me he's a political advisor. He loves his politics and speak it boldly, speak about his support for United Workers' Party boldly, anywhere, everywhere. Just want to reach out and touch his family. And also the family of Carol Calais of Kinefield, the mother of Michael, Timothy Gaff, Timothy Marcel, Desmond Calais, Alvin, with all the other family members in Salisbury as well. Just want to reach out and touch each and every one of you on the passing, Jocelyn as well, on the passing of Carol Calais of Kinefield. And those of you who have lost loved one, a good friend, son will be buried on a Saturday. Zion Oscar of Cordio, the young boy, 18-month-old child of Miss Williams, and Oliver Oscar of Monwachet. I just want to reach out and touch each and every one of you. Burial funeral will be in Cordio on Saturday. And I was also told today Patches was buried, Lindell Williams. He was buried today. And also, I didn't know Lindell was the brother of my good friend from Vickers, Poggi. So I met Poggi at the funeral with his brother. And he also buried his sister about 2 weeks ago. She was married to, last week, she was married to Planchy Seaman. She passed away as well. I just want to extend sympathies to them. And today I was told, I didn't realize he was part of Gary Roy. Harry Roy, right, was buried today. That was my good friend. I didn't realize he passed away. Cameraman, and I knew him a very long time. He used to have video one, I think. He used to run video one. Yes. So I just want to extend sympathies to his family at this time. Yes, the Workers' Voice, we always do it. Reaching out to touch our friends, those of you at the hospital. Good evening to you at home if you're not feeling too well. Those of you celebrating birthdays in October as well. I have a lot of family members who are celebrating birthdays in October. My own is later down this month as well. So I just want to reach out and touch each and every one of you celebrating your birthday. Yes, as we always do in Workers' Voice, we want to welcome you. But before we welcome you to person will be in studios with us tonight, I just want to touch you with this song. We're in the Independence season. There's a few bars of this one. We will get things rolling in a minute.
Ano veze nous pour développer pays nous. lève Dominique, lève, Italie tombée, lève Dominique, lève, c'est au poverty, lève Dominique, lève, Italie tombée, à nous tomber.
Yes, Levy Dominic and Utwaba, we're in the independent season.
Your production.
Yes. Let me welcome the studios. You're singing along to studios of Q95 on this first day, October 12, 2023. The vice president of our political party and from the Lapland constituency, Mrs. Francisca Joseph.
Yes, thank you, Hector, and thank you to Dominica. As you heard, the hot song is Hector's production. That's the skills that we have around in the United Lucas Party. So, pleasant good evening to all, especially those in the.
Oh, this, sorry. Yes, start back again. Right now.
Yes, good evening to all, and welcome to the studios of Q95 for the people of the Lamplain constituency, Dailies, Boutica, Lamplain, and all over Dominica. The ladies of workers as well, a pleasant good evening to you and to all women in Dominica specifically. I say all women because of an activity we're going to have tomorrow, which really will look at the whole issue of women issues in Dominica. So pleasant good evening to all those who have lost loved ones. Our condolences already, you've heard that. And we say good evening to all. And in spite of the circumstances, in spite of what is happening around us, I pray that all is well, that we have health and strength, and we continue to stand strong because the battle is not for the weak. So I hope we have a very fruitful discussion this evening.
Okay, Teacher Sika. Let me just say quickly that I just want to thank the WASCO again for working on our water
That's nice.
system. We're having some issues here and there, it's coming on, but at least the WASCO is doing their best. My biggest disappointment is the Ministry of Agriculture of Public Works. They have not addressed our farm road. It is going on 2 weeks. It wasn't for the WASCO. Some people reaching the Timichel area and somewhere in Brush. But we still have some landslides on the road, and some farmers can get to the farms in the Petit Makushri Mon area. I am very disappointed that I have reached out to the Ministry of Public Works on behalf of the farmers, spoke with top officials in the ministry. I'm not saying a name right now. I'm very disappointed they have not called me back or reached out to the farmers or have a heavy equipment on the road. I even give them numbers of heavy equipment in the area that can reach out.
But Hector, wouldn't after any event like this on others that you do an assessment of what has been or has happened?
Yes, I was told by that some Ministry of Agriculture officials were there. I was also told that the information I gave the particular gentleman at the Public Works, that he passed it on to one of the field officers who would get the equipment on the road. What I picked up gathered as well, after a storm within 72 hours, you expect heavy equipment to be, because farmers have their produce up. They're not just like going to start a new farm. They have produce out there that they would like to take out, and that is one of your most productive farm roads. And it has been neglected. 2 weeks now, since the storm affected us in the Salisbury area, and we have not seen anything happen. I'm hoping by tomorrow that the heavy equipment will be up there, because farmers are already calling me that they are planning to have a meeting on the Salisbury bus stop on Monday morning at 7 if something is not done. They have the produce then. Like today would be harvesting day for a few farmers for them to go to the market tomorrow and on Saturday. So hoping that we can get that addressed very soon. Ministry of Agriculture, Agriculture cannot say, but Ministry of Public Works, headed by the Minister Fidel Grant.
And it's a joint operation.
Yeah.
It's agriculture. Yes, it's an agricultural belt. Yes, it's public works. So these are the sectors that have to work together.
But the WASCO brought in a heavy equipment there within 48 hours. Within 48 hours, the WASCO got a heavy equipment there and 2 big dumpers carrying materials there for them. So they blocked make a temporary bypass where the road got cut off. That's in Guavavin area for them to go to Fonkoko to fix the water supply. And the government have not done a private company did everything in they could to ensure that we get water within a short space of time, and the government have not sent heavy equipment to clear the Salisbury Heights feeder road, and we're hoping that can be addressed very soon. Yes, as we said earlier on, that Jessica is in studios with me, Mrs. Francisca Joseph, and there's an activity tomorrow that we're expecting all of Dominica, especially women of Dominica, and we want the men to give support as well to participate in tomorrow. And I will allow Mrs. Joseph to give us all the information, all the rundown, what needs to be done, and how the activity is looking up for tomorrow. Mrs. Joseph.
Yeah, thank you, Hector. And as Hector said, we have an activity happening tomorrow. But before I go into the activity, I was looking at the theme for Independence 2023, and I think it's very short, and celebrate, which is let's celebrate. And I'm looking at what the minister said at the opening. She spoke about a reset, and she said let the nation heed the Prime Minister's call for a reset. And the reset will require solidarity and the collective will to drive our country forward. Independence is an opportunity to reclaim the sense of togetherness and community, which seem to be eroding gradually on account of our political differences. Instead, let us renew our commitment to work in concert with God and country. Let us recapture our confidence in ourselves. These are just words, Hector. Yeah. These are just words. Yes, reclaim our confidence. Reclaim our confidence. Yet, somebody who is not protected by the house, by the parliament, you eroded her rights, and you sat there. You said nothing as a woman. Now you tell me in an independence is a time for togetherness. It's a time to come together. It's a time to reset. It's a time to put aside our differences. What are the differences that we are putting aside? Are we not human beings? Are we not Dominicans too?
Hypocrisy, right?
Exactly. You speak on one side of your mouth, and then on the other side you stay silent when ill is happening. That will help us to be together. This is what it is, When you criticize me, you degrade my name and everything else. This is what? How can I work together with you when I am hurt? And hence the reason why we are having this match tomorrow. We begin from 3. We will begin at the Pottersville Savannah. That's where we're going to gather. So we want all women, as many women as possible, women and girls in Dominica. And not just women and girls, we want the men to join us too. We need their support as well. So women, girls, men, everybody in Dominica, we want you to join us tomorrow. The theme is Unite to preserve the dignity of women in Dominica. That is what will fix the situation for us. Unity, togetherness, to preserve the dignity of women. Too long. I mean, I was in the House as a parliamentarian, and I saw what was going on, and we understand how hurt you feel, And even before that, you had parliamentarian like Monel John Baptist who received, backlashes on lashes, tongue lashes. But
even Mrs. Annette.
Yes, and then yes.
They were heckling, and one time Reginald Oshry was sat down and
remember
say you drunk.
She was pregnant.
Yeah.
And the kind of castigating remarks they were made in, and Hector is the men make these remarks and the women smirk, and this is what that irks me.
But even in Parliament, Jessica, I remember Danny Lugie, Honorable Lugie, stood up. And he told the women on the other side, don't be worried about us on that side. We'll never disrespect you.
Exactly.
Any women inside, they will not disrespect. And we never did that. I sat in Parliament for 13 years. And no one on the side of the opposition, on our side, United Workers' Party parliamentary opposition, disrespected any woman in the House. And you're hearing this type of disrespect over again. Even the Speaker of the House, who was a woman at that time, when Monel was being bashed and disrespected,
did nothing.
She smirked, she laughed.
Yes. And now presently, that's the same thing that happens.
Yeah.
You see the women smirk and nobody says a word. Yeah. Nobody stands up to anything.
About 8 of them in Parliament, or more.
So we're talking about quality, not just quantity of the number of females in Parliament, but the quality of representation that you will give in Parliament to help with the whole issue of gender-based violence, because this is violence.
Right.
This is abuse of women's rights. And for these and other reasons, you have child abuse cases. You have so many ills in our society where the children themselves, girls, are being abused, boys as well. But we are standing tomorrow because we want to give a message to those who think that all is well, that they can do what they want willy-nilly on women, and then women will just sit there and take everything. We are no longer going to take it. We are going to stand. And at the end of the day, what we're asking for the Attorney General, who's supposed to be the one to call on the others legally, because he's the legal arm of the government on as the Attorney General. He brings laws into Parliament. He interprets laws. And then you break those laws yourself. You know, we are asking for, yes, he came with some apology, neither here nor there. And the Prime Minister said, oh, that doesn't warrant.
Yeah.
You know,
It already a threshold.
What is a threshold?
But you know, and the level of disrespect from the Attorney General, when he came there and speaking about context, he paraphrased his so-called apology by talking about context, you know, and saying that he took it from the
Minister of Education.
Yes,
Yes.
and context.
As a woman.
Yeah, as a woman.
Yes.
Talking about chicken and who won the a kids meal beside KFC, and he took it from that. And instead for him to just come straight forward and say, "Oh, I apologize,"
yes.
you know, simple.
Because she cannot defend herself because
Yeah.
she's not there. She has, because, and when we did that in Parliament, when we came out with names, the Speaker was quick to jump on our throats and say, you cannot mention these names because the person cannot defend themselves because they're not in Parliament.
Right.
But Annette was not in Parliament.
And what is the threshold
Exactly.
for that warrants dismissal or removal? What is the
What is
threshold?
it? Exactly. I would really like to know what the threshold is.
What is the threshold when the Prime Minister was said that the Prime Minister went to a press conference and said, they asked him a question about one of his ministers. And he said he's collecting information on the. There's about 4 or 5 months now, and he has not told us what is the threshold in that instant to fire or to remove that particular minister. But no, there's a threshold.
Yes.
So they see the double standard.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
And who decides what the threshold is?
Yes.
Who decide that? The person who is affected, the victim. You know. So we are calling on the Attorney General. We are calling for his dismissal. That is what we are calling for. And all those who aid and abet, all those who continue to aid and abet as well, because it's of no use. Because if you cannot call wrong by its name, it does not make sense, Hector. You're supposed to be the keepers of the Constitution.
And it's not representing the government, the government side of the Parliament, you know. The executive,
right,
is representing the entire
country. And Hector, this is where the line cannot be drawn with these people. You're not representing the Labour Party. You're representing Dominica. And so you fight for the rights of Dominicans. That is what the state pays you for. You work for the state, and the taxes and everything that we pay, this is what pays you. So you work for Dominica, but no, these people work for the Labour Party, and that's all they know. And they can criticize, they can brutalize, they can victimize people how they want and think they can get away with it. So we're saying that enough is enough, because Dominica has a duty to comply with the terms of the International Human Rights Convention that Dominica has ratified. And so many conventions that Dominica has ratified, and they continually break those laws and rules. And we are asking people, you know what? You tell us we talk a lot, but yes, we'll talk, but tomorrow we are marching. And tomorrow we are walking the streets of Rose. And tomorrow we are speaking out, and our voice is going to be heard. And we are not going to stop until Levi Peter leaves office. Because if we do not do it, we will not do it anymore. There's not a time again to do it. Because it is the gross disrespect. Women are tired of being disrespected all over in Dominica. And we have some very powerful women speakers who will speak tomorrow on some of the issues, some of it personally too, for them. They have been affected. They continue to be affected. You know, when people threaten you because you do not support their political party, or you do support what it is that they wish to support, then you are victimized, you are brutalized, and they tell you that if this was not with you, how I would get my gangs to beat you up. What is this? Why are you threatening a woman who has a right to support who she wishes to support?
Yeah.
A woman has a right to speak out, and anybody in Dominica has a right to speak out, because this is the rights that we have under the Constitution of Dominica to be protected. you know, and it doesn't, it cannot be for one set of people, Hector. It cannot be for one set of Dominicans to be given that kind of prestige and protection while the others are not.
But even at the press conference, the Prime Minister lied and said that his wife was and other members on his side will be
That's not true.
disrespected.
Never.
We never. Because
Never.
he tried to take it out of Parliament. What was said by Levi Peters was said in Parliament.
And then you are held to a higher
Office.
office when you are a leader.
Yeah.
Don't tell me the man on the street calls the radio station. You have no authority over
Right.
this person, but you are held to a higher order when you are leader.
The highest court in the land.
The highest court in the land. When Roosevelt Scarry said no law, no constitution, what does that mean? If the top man can say no law, no constitution can prevent, what will the other, the local man say?
They get
What
away
will
to
they
say worse. We'll do worse.
Exactly. When you ask them why, they tell you, but look, your leaders say that
Right.
this is so. So Levi Peters, the Attorney General, can say what he wants, and then somebody on the street will do what?
So
Will
I
follow
just,
suit.
we just want to confirm. I just wanted to bring that up to let people know that what Levi Peters said in Parliament was not said outside by
Outside,
anybody.
exactly.
It was said in Parliament.
In Parliament.
And there, I just wanted to confirm as well that no one in Parliament on the opposition side has ever disrespected any
No.
member of the government on the government
and I
side.
remember Hector, we keep on telling, I keep on telling you all, you know what? Do not do it.
Yeah.
Because we'll call you out.
Yeah,
I mean, do not do it.
but I would never do it.
You know, so these women were pampered on that side. They were pampered while we were on the side.
Yeah.
And you have to be on your P's and Q's because you're not sure what they will come up with. And they will call you all manner of names and they tell you, oh, you this and you that. And that is the kind of thing. And nobody is there to protect the minority.
Remember when teacher Ernie,
Yes.
remember Austria harassed teacher
Yes,
Ernie one
teacher
time
Ernie, yes.
when she was making some very pertinent points on a particular
Yes.
issue.
And
They harass her.
you have to defend yourself.
And she was
You
not
have to-
defended by the speaker, failed to defend her.
No, well, what
Isaac
bless
is
you. So we are saying that enough is enough. Every woman in Dominica has a right to be protected, has a right to be defended, has a right to stand up for their rights in any way. You have a right to speak out. You have a right to say how you feel. And we are going to say how we feel tomorrow. And I hope that this struggle will continue until we see the end of Levi Peter. He has to go. And this is what we are saying. And we are saying, Dominican people, enough is enough. You all tell us that we talk a lot and we say, but we are calling you out tomorrow. Let us stand up for justice. Let us stand up for equality and equity. Because what we have in Dominica is not equality, is not equity.
Yeah.
Some people are doing very, very well, while the rest of the nation is in problems.
Yeah. And that is also for the women or young women being abused in
Yes.
terms.
Oh, yes.
In fact, the abuse is not just the physical abuse, but the psychological abuse as
Yeah,
well.
you have-
our daughters overseas
Yes.
studying, and their tuition is not being paid. That
That's
is abuse.
economic abuse.
You know, and they're all there.
Financial abuse.
Yes. So
You
and that is for them as well. Our nurses who have to work long hours, can't even spend time with their family, or the doctors as well. It's for them as well.
Yes, and also for them who stand on the bus stops at whatever time in the evening, waiting for a bus after they have gone a shift, waiting for a bus to take them to work. This is also abuse, and we're calling on all these people who've been affected. You are continually being affected. The owners never got a stimulus package.
Yes.
Never got anything for a whole year of COVID. They left their homes, they left their families. Some of them were instituted in Portsmouth and some different areas in Dominica.
Some fell sick on the job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, no compensation for them. We are calling on you to turn out because you have been affected. And all those who before you get to give them assistance, you need to maybe sleep with them, or you need to do something with them, because that's the only way they will get assistance. We want you to turn out too.
VEP
tomorrow.
for VEP.
Yes.
You
You
know,
know, they want some material for their home, but you cannot just give them. And there is no way that this should be happening, Hector,
Yeah.
because you should have a process, a process in place. You have the welfare division. You have so many
So
different
they'll do the assessments,
Yes.
and they will make
Exactly.
the recommendations, and you take it from
but
there.
these people have done away with all these sectors, and they've taken it over. So they know they have the power. They have the economic power. And you have nothing. You have children. You need assistance, but you cannot get assistance just like that. You have to pay.
Jessica, we're going to take a short break. I'm going to
Yes.
come back. You're going to tell us about the route and where
Yes,
we'll be meeting,
for
what
sure.
we'll be doing. But this short break. We'll just play Levy Dominic tonight. We're independent season. And we celebrate, that is the
Yes, on the celebration.
and so let us celebrate. So we're celebrating tonight. And we want all the women of Dominica, show up tomorrow. Don't make any excuses, show up tomorrow.
Lève Dominique, lève, Italie ton père, lève Dominique, lève, c'est en poverty, lève Dominique, lève, Italie ton père, à nous t'en va lève Dominique nous, pour yon pays, Dominique ou bienvenue, ou mi belle life, et mi otapwako.
Yes, good evening to the person from Canada that asking me, Sparks, I never knew you could write. Yes,
skills.
I wrote that song since 1997, Heritage Day. I wrote that in Trinidad. I was on vacation by my granny. So I wrote in Trinidad, yes. Back to the discussion in studios with me is teacher Sika Francisca Joseph, spearheading the Women of Workers activity tomorrow. And it's all inclusive, everybody welcome to participate, no matter what social group you belong to, what political party, what church you belong to. You just wanted to be here with tomorrow to join the activity, united to preserve the dignity of women in Dominica. So we would want you to be there under this theme, this umbrella theme, that we can discuss and call and continue to push for the removal of Levi Peters as the Attorney General of Dominica. I want to big up Nurse Rosie Felix for standing with her other patriots in calling for the removal of Levi Peters. And we're hoping that the people that we've Nurse that have been there with Nurse Rosie and all the others will join tomorrow and make this one big activity to send a very loud message. Teacher Sika, earlier on, I asked you about the route. Tell us where we'll be gathering, where we'll be walking through, and where we'll be ending tomorrow, and the time as well.
So next to the Pottersville Savannah, just below the church, we gather here at 3 p.m. So by 3, we begin to march. But before that, 2:30, whatever time you can get, if you get into town very early, just find yourself at the Pottersville Savannah next to the Catholic Church. We will be gathering there. And so by 2:50, by 10 to 3, we want to have a prayer, national anthem, and just a few freedom songs, just to galvanize, to motivate our people. And then from 2:55, we will go through the logistics, and which is the route that we will take. So we assembly at the Pottersville Savannah, and we go south along Goodwill Road, proceeding across the Isilo Black Bridge onto Independence Street. And then we turn eastwards along King George V Street, northwards onto Bath Road. We go down along Hillsborough Street. We go up to Old Street, west along Cox Street. We proceed south along the Dame Eugene and Charles Boulevard, and we culminate at the cruise ship berth area there for the meeting. So before we begin the match, we will give it that again, and then we will have persons who will follow, so people will follow and know exactly what is the route that we are taking. And so we arrive. We were hoping to start at 4:30 on the Bayfront. When we march from Pottersville down to the Bayfront by 4:30, we should begin. Before us, give the activity overview, what precipitated this match and meeting. So we give a little historical aspect of what brought us to this from tomorrow. And we have solidarity messages coming from a number of people. I am not giving names tonight, but you will come out and see powerful women in Dominica who continue to fight for freedom for women and for rights for all Dominicans. And we have an open mic time, persons who have not given the indication that they will speak, but then at the day they feel they would like to say something and give some messages. We also have that time for that. We will close, and then our next steps, we'll decide tomorrow what are the next steps that we are going to take to ensure that we meet the objective of the exercise. And the objective is not just Levi Peter to go, but there are other circumstances that we need to get going. And while we are at it, we have to hit the nail on the head. because we've been speaking a number of years about a family court, a place where people can get their cases held, they can be heard. 10 years, exactly, expedite these hearings. And we have children who've been abused and taken advantage of, and 10 years, the case cannot be held, cannot be called. And these children continually remember, and nothing is done for them. And we're asking that, and they go to the courts where everybody is sitting, and so we are asking these and other things. A place for juvenile. We have so many houses we see in building around the city and everywhere, Hector. And our women don't have a place for battered women, a place for men too who may be abused.
A halfway house.
Right. What about our young people? They may not be able to go. Some of them, sorry, the crime that they commit may not warrant that they go to the state prison, but there's somewhere where you can put them and they can learn a skill and something. So we're not just fighting for the rights of women and just what participated for Levi Peter, but there are so many issues.
Find solutions as well.
Make solutions, give solutions. Look, these are the recommendations. We will be making recommendations, and we will continue to stand. So we're calling on all women in Dominica, every woman. Some of you will leave work at 4:00 on Friday. Join us on the Bayfront. If you do not have time to join us on the match, join us on Bayfront and come with your drums, come with your timbrels, come with your whatever it is. Let's make some noise in the city tomorrow. Pots, whatever you have. Yeah. We are calling on people because the women of Dominica, we are tired. We are tired of being taken for. I would hope that all women will be. And even if you are part of the elite team of women who never get involved, but please join us, because this is a cause that we do not want to fight alone. We want everybody on board with us.
Somebody sent me a message saying even women being underpaid.
Yes.
Being working in some areas, and that is abuse.
That is abuse. Of course, that is abuse.
Because they have to find ways and means to make ends meet at the end of the month. But if they get to work
exactly.
employment that will reward them.
A woman saying something on she's saying that she has children. She has one in 4th form, and she wants a job.
Yeah.
She's looking for she's searching for a job. And this is what some people are just asking for, to earn a living.
There's a foot in the door.
And Hector, we had billions and billions of dollars, which is sold. We need to go back to those areas. Sold billions of dollars in our assets, in our passports. Billions of dollars. And where is it? On the ground, we're not seeing.
Well, as you made a point, as you bring it up, Jesus God, you talk about who else need to go. But what with the revelations we see coming out now in some of the investigative reporting,
need to go.
This has to begin to get Dominicans enraged. And I am one of them that is about getting things done.
Yes. And
we have to get things done. We have to make up our mind. Do we want our country back, or we just want it to go exactly. With the wolves and the hyenas? But do you want the country back? We have to do something about it.
And Hector, just some people, they'll come out and tell you, oh, you're not doing anything, you have to be on the ground, and we continuously hear that, and everybody will call on the United Workers' Party, what are you doing? You have to be on the ground, and you'll have to be on the ground. But let me say something tonight. You know what? Dominica belongs to every one of us. And I would like every Dominican to look at it critically, look at yourselves critically, and tell me whether you have improved in the 20-something years in Dominica, whether your life has improved.
Jessica, I want to support you on that 100%. And I wanted to bring up that point. Yesterday, somebody and we were having a discussion about every time people say, what United Workers' Party doing? What are we asking the government to do? You want us to change our leader. Every time the government does something, we want us to change our leader. You want us to change strategy. You want us to stop speaking. You want us to come back and speak. You want us to be on the radio. You want us to be on the ground. But you're not saying that the government is doing wrong and is in office.
Yeah.
What are we doing to take them out or remove them?
Exactly, because these are the
collectively
people that you pay.
Yeah,
these are the people that you pay.
We do everything they want us to do. We're doing. United Workers' Party has never stopped making suggestions, recommendations to move the country forward.
And we've always been doing it.
Always in Parliament, we are the most prepared to deliver on any bill before Parliament. We are the most prepared to deliver on the budget address.
Right, exactly.
The budget debate. And every time,
And
what
Hector-
the workers doing? What are they doing?
Yeah,
Everything. you know.
we've given a number, and Hector, you know what? Somebody people tell me, boy, what you all have told us there is true, you know.
Yeah.
Because you know that what we told you is true.
Yeah.
Because Hector, once I was telling somebody, I said, look what, nobody gets paid before they work.
Right.
When somebody tells you they want you, they will go up for you as a pal rep, or Skerrit sends them.
Yeah.
He tells them to go, but they get paid in advance
So-
before they work.
They were purchased.
They were purchased.
Yeah.
Right? Now they tell you, I'm buying I will buy your votes.
Yeah.
And now you hear them tell you, oh, I'm not a God, don't beg me.
Yeah.
You know, all of a sudden, I'm not a God, don't beg me. But you could beg for votes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. Jessica, we're having a very good discussion there on
Yes.
the issue, on the protest action, not the protest action, the march tomorrow, that is under the theme, Unite to Preserve the Dignity of the
Dominican women in
Dominican women or women in Dominica. We're going to open the lines. We have only 1 hour, 18 more minutes to go. We're going to open the lines to have you interact with Mrs. Joseph. And if you want to ask any questions, make any recommendations, try to keep it very short. 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097, 305-432-9624. That's overseas, 305-432-9624. You can also call digital number 616-4257. You can WhatsApp us on 265-4334. I can also go on Facebook on Q95 FM radio and join the discussion. We have a lot of people there. So I just want to tell them continue to make a contribution in the chat, and we will do our best to take some of them. We're going to open the line right now. Good evening. Welcome to the Workers' Voice on the overseas line.
Good evening, Spratt.
Yes, Bob.
Just no.
Yeah, good evening, Sister Zika.
Good evening. Good evening. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. I'm great. I'm great.
I was just thinking about you saying, man, you're one of the real hard-working workers, and I really have to congratulate you and thank you and appreciate what you're doing, because
Thank you.
you really putting your hands to the wheel. But that's why I called too. Like I thought, just listen, but why I call? You mentioned something, and that is the only thing me at this stage of Dominican history and our politics and our way of life in Dominica. The only thing I'm interested in is the question you ask: what are we going to do to remove the regime? Because asking for leave, I Peter, yes, that is good. If you have a decent government and one of the ministers cross the line, you could say, okay, that minister has to go. But we have an entire regime that have no respect for law and order. They took an oath to uphold our laws and the Constitution. When you violate that oath, you are not worthy to be in office to serve the people. You have violated the people's trust. You have violated the people's rights. The whole regime has to go. Now, we're talking about independence, Prague. I mean, Dominica has so much issue, but I like to focus on the main one. We're talking about independence celebration. You have an administration that eroding our independence by giving the resources of the country to Arab. I don't even know if he's a terrorist. I'm not saying he's a terrorist, but I don't know. But look, all that latest news coming out with all the papers, them internationally. Look, we know what's going on in Israel, Syria. We have Hamas, we have Hezbollah, we have Boko Haram, we have ISIS. And it's in these areas, the passport, them going chip. That is why the program that we're talking about, how successful the program is. Because these golden passports, they're attracted to criminals, vagabonds, rogue. Instead of buying this passport, them Russian mafia. And the main thing about it is that the resources is not coming to the money is not coming to country. I have people talking about reviving how we're going to fix it. One of the recommendation the UK makes is for if they want the UK to recognize and give us visa again and stuff like that, they have to bring back the money. And Sprague's nobody not talking about it. So when I hear you say tonight, what are we willing to do to remove these guys. That is the only topic me myself right now are interested in. Are we going to get our people together?
Yes,
Lack
ma'am.
of resources. Are we going to mobilize people? So so that's all I'm gonna say tonight. But I think we can start by every constituency. If you cannot bring 10,000 people in Roseau, you can have our little one Salisbury, another little one Coolibistry, another little one Colliho, a bigger one La Plaine, Marigot, everybody. And when it boil, when the pot cook, it was bringing the food to share in Roseau. Thank you, Swag. I'm listening.
All right, thank you for calling in. 4493095, 4493096. Teacher Sika, the activity tomorrow, as you said, you're going to have different speakers. Will it be carried live?
Well, we are hoping that it will be carried live. I've asked some persons to do so. So we hope that it will be live on Facebook. And, we always have people around too who carry snippets of it.
If anybody want to give some support in terms of water.
Yes, and if anybody wishes to assist us in any way, we have already got some contribution from some people from the diaspora, some local people who have given us for water, mainly water, because that's really, and we would need for we have the vehicle, and we also have the system as well that we need to pay for.
Right.
So anybody who is willing to contribute can do so. We have Annette Sanford, you have Rosie Felix, you have myself. You can also drop it at the office if you wish.
On 6 River Street.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you know of anybody, any woman that is part of the struggle, you can also deliver, or you can take it to us at either at Pottersville or on the Bayfront, and we'll be quite willing to accept any donation from you. It's a cause. It's a cause for all. It is not just for one set of people, but it's something that we all need to stand up for, and we want to ensure that. And also, if you go on the social media, you'll see a petition asking for Levi Peter to go. So we would like as many people as possible to sign this petition.
Is there
read
color?
The information.
Is there color?
Yes, the colors. We're asking people to wear purple, orange, and I think Rosie was saying something pink as well. So orange, and purple. It's Independence Day. You can tie your head with some orange or purple piece or anything. It doesn't matter. And don't make that a problem for you if you do not have that color. Please
just show up.
Show up. For the people of the La Plaine area, we have Frank who will transport persons. We have a bus for the constituency. So those of you who are coming, so you'll check Frank. Augustine from Dailies, who will transport from Dailies and La Plaine to town.
Yeah, if so, as well, we'll organize a bus or two. We'll just find out what's going on tomorrow. And so we know you all know the regular bosses.
Right. And all those who can make their way, please make your way into town. Join us at the Pottersville Savannah to march into the city and to show the force and to show that we are a serious people that will stand up against tyranny.
Yes. Thank you very much. Jessica is here in the studios with me, Mrs. Francisca Joseph, as we discuss the activity tomorrow. Organized by the Women of Workers, and under the theme United to Preserve the Dignity of Dominican Women. Just want you to participate tomorrow. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Workers' Voice. We want each and every one of you to be there.
Yes, good evening, Brother Spratt.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening to Sister Joseph.
Good evening, sir.
Well, Sister Joseph, I have a question for you.
Yes.
And the question for you is that, Sister Joseph, do you believe that we in Dominica, we are really independent?
Well, we should be.
And why I ask this question, Sister Joseph, before you answer me, why I ask this question is because I went to the walk, on the Wednesday walk, and while trying to get into Satan Street in Roseau, the policemen of Dominica, they are putting a gate across the road to bar the public road, so that we wouldn't pass where we want to pass in Dominica as an independent country. I would like to hear your answer now, Sister Joseph. Good night and thank you, because I know you have a march tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. Thank you much. Thank you very much for your contribution. Somebody mentioned, send me a message, remind all the workers tomorrow, everybody participating tomorrow. If they're feeling thirsty and they're not feeling for water, a lot of watermelon from Seoul will be sold in Roseau cheap, just $2 a slice. So just check all the vehicles you see in Roseau.
That's a nice one. Yes.
So if you don't want water, just go and buy your watermelon. Yes, in Roseau. So
yes, Hector,
watermelon,
it's a pain. What he spoke about, working on Wednesdays and most
frustrating.
of the areas. It's very frustrating. And these are simple, peace-loving people who walk.
I joined the walk when they started, and that was the one that was frustrating me. How can you block the road? And I know that I would have done something, and I just decided,
because you're not interfering with traffic, you're not preventing,
why can't I walk in my country?
Just walk, yes.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Workers' Voice.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening,
Good
sir.
evening.
Yeah, good evening, Miss Joseph.
Good evening.
Mr. Sparks.
Good evening,
Yes.
sir.
And good evening to all Dominicans. Yeah, Dominicans, I just want to tell you, time is up for this guy. Yeah, he has to go. See this report? This guy just fleecing the country. 23 years. Money, left, right. This guy mansion. My brother, Dominicans, while you eating stone, this guy is just living lavishly around the world. Galvanizing around the world. He's hiking and plane to plane and no light, no water, nothing. My brother, time for a revolution in this country. I'm calling for a revolution in this country. This guy should be under house arrest, all and also, for the crimes he has committed against Dominica and its people. My brother, and we need to bring these things to a halt in Dominica, and we need our country to come back good economically, financially. We need jobs in Dominica. We need employment. We need higher wages, salaries, everybody. And this guy is saying he deserves the biggest pay in Dominica when he serves as a multi-billionaire and nothing happening there. Scary must go by any means necessary. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller. Hello, good evening, welcome to the Workers' Voice.
Hey, Mr. John, what's up now?
Hi, good. How's everything?
Giving thanks in spite of the challenges. There's a lot to be thankful for,
Blessed.
The ladies in the house, blessings to you all.
Blessings. How are you?
Giving thanks. Like
Okay,
a farmer
great.
told me, somebody told me a farmer, there'll be discounted watermelon tomorrow, $1.50.
Well, check them out. You can negotiate.
Anyway, I go to have my placard tomorrow, God willing. Levi PP in Peter's bed, so the nasty man must go. Anytime you see that placard, Hector, don't touch it. All right? That is for me. Blessed night, everybody.
All right, blessed. Yes. Some calls coming in. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Workers' Voice. Hello, are you there with us? See, that person is not listening. Yes, Mrs. Joseph. Yes.
We are saying we don't want people to be afraid, and that is the one of the main things that is happening to us in Dominica. The fear that people have that if they stand up, they will be victimized and they will be called out. If I have my child and she's supposed to get a scholarship, I cannot stand because I'm afraid that they will not get it. I'm afraid that they will harass me in the job if I'm not appointed. But these people thrive on your fear. And this is why we are in the situation we are, because we tend to be too afraid to stand up for what we believe. Because if our forefathers were afraid, we wouldn't have been where we are now. They fought, and this is what every country does, every nation, and everybody who changes things are the people who change things. People change things, and we want you to stand up, take a stand tomorrow. Fear no more. Stand for equality, stand for justice, stand for freedom that you require. Not just freedom to walk the streets, but freedom to be able to speak out and to criticize people and to criticize your government. You pay them. So if one of them do something wrong, you are free to tell them that what they have done is wrong. And nobody should criticize you, and nobody should brutalize you for that, and nobody should discriminate against you because you stood up for justice and you stood up for what is right.
And if you're 100%, and let me just call on the men as well. Mrs. Annette Sanford could be your sister,
yes,
your mother, your aunt, your daughter, your stepdaughter, your cousin, your grandmother. So just think of it as a man. If somebody would disrespect
yes, exactly.
any member of your wife, your girlfriend
right.
can disrespect you like that.
Exactly.
You have to stand up and show solidarity with the women. I personally, my sisters will be there. They're always there. I will be standing in solidarity as well.
Yes.
Not only just as a politician, but as
As a man,
a man. I was raised.
To
I
respect
was
women.
and I was fortunate to be. I was raised by two mothers, my stepmother and my mother, biological mother,
Right.
and all my sisters. They're older than me. So I am one of the baby brothers. So I have women. I grew up with women. All my nieces, grandnieces, around me, family members that that raised me to be respectful and to be
Right.
respectful to women. I'll be standing in solidarity with them, as well.
And Hector, there is no reason why in 2023 we would have to fight this battle.
No.
There's no reason why we should be doing so. With an enlightened age and with a voice of women in parliament.
Yeah.
So many women,
Yep.
as we've never had before, have found themselves in parliament. But it's just numbers. It's just numbers. Nothing concrete, nothing solid is happening.
Like a whole.
And I've never seen any bill, anything brought into parliament, to fight the cause. You were supposed to be, you are the Minister of Community Development, you're the Minister responsible for Women Affairs. What are you doing for women in Dominica? Huh?
The first time under this government, we had a Minister of Ecclesiastical Affairs,
Yeah.
And what happened?
Nothing.
I remember when the late Gertrude Roberts was a Minister of Community Development and Gender Affairs, Women Affairs. You would hear things about women, activities for women. And I remember when Mrs. Roberts opened that sewing shop or sewing place in Grand Fond, and it was to empower women. What are you hearing about empowering women?
Exactly.
The young women, our young women who leave school, what are they doing? Some of them have small businesses and they cannot make ends meet because they're not getting the support. Just to order a few things, how much have to be customs. And these are the type of things we have to deal with.
Exactly. And I'm looking at a number of young women who tells you like they had to close down their small businesses because they just cannot make it.
What about the single parents?
Single mothers. So a lot is happening and it's brutal on these people. You have, as I said, we have our nurses, we have so many different people in offices in Dominica where the bosses take advantage of them, of their vulnerability. Yeah. So we are asking women, turn out, be strong tomorrow. Build your strength tomorrow. If you're not strong enough, get another woman with you and turn out tomorrow in large amounts to show the Attorney General, the Levi Peters, and them that, you will not sit down and take it lightly. You will not bury your head in the sand. No longer. You will stand up for yourself. As a woman in Dominica, you're going to stand because you are strong. You are the mothers, the aunts, you are the sisters, you are the people. Without a woman, you have nobody.
Something I observed, I don't know if you observed it, for the past couple of days, we had NEP workers cleaning the main roads.
Yes.
So we will see if independent Dominica is shining.
Oh, of course.
And majority of those gangs are dominated by women. All those women.
Yes.
And most of these women are single parents. But you're hearing some of them have not gotten paid for the past month or two.
Yes.
How are they meeting the
needs? And
they still have to show up with the red shirts. Some of them have to show up with the red labor shirts.
And that is the painful thing. They grin and bear it. They know things about it. They understand it because they will speak to you on the side that things are not good for them. And already they are underpaid. That's underemployment. Some of them basically can barely make it. But you need them to show. You will put them on a bus and you will take them to somewhere and you will give them some food and you think all is well. And when they go home, they cry because they have nothing to feed their children with.
They started the NEP program about somewhere in 2014. So you're talking about 9 years. For that 9 years, these young people or
have
women
never learned a skill.
Not only learn a skill, none of them can take a loan or could take a loan or have taken a loan because they're temporary employed. Every 6 months they have to renew contracts. So
and Hector, when we spoke about this, they tell you hate NEP, you hate what you wanted to make life better. That is why you spoke out against it because there are ways to make it better. And you will speak to them and they tell you, look, this is not what I really want to do. This I would like to do. So we are asking you, the parents, the aunties, the godmothers, everybody, turn out tomorrow. You may not be able to walk the whole street, but you can wait for us at the on the cruise ship Bilf, and there you can show your force. You can speak out. If it's 2 words you wish to say 2 words. But at the end of the day, we will leave the Bayfront with a strategy going forward. What exactly are we going to do as women in Dominica? What exactly are we going to do for women and girls, especially for those who've been abused constantly, those who are victimized, those who are brutalized, those who just cannot take it anymore? but they need the support. We are there for you. We are telling you to turn out in large numbers tomorrow and let us be counted.
You call them the vulnerables.
Yes.
Yes. You're listening to Q95 radio. In studios with me, the worker's voice is Mrs. Francisca Joseph, the Vice President of the United Workers' Party, and she's from the La Plaine constituency and from Dalis. She's from right down Dalis, the Tulama area. I just want to welcome each and every one of you who are listening. It's already 9:01. We're going to be winding up in a while, but just give us a recap of Mrs. Joseph, what you expect to achieve tomorrow, or the route,
yes,
and time and whatnot. We need to make sure that we get that message out.
Okay, so as we said earlier on, let me just give you reiterate some of the information that we gave to you. We will be marching tomorrow. We have already, we wrote to the Chief of Police already, and I think we've already gotten the okay to do so. We will be marching tomorrow. As I said, you bring along, we'll have whoever, you have your placards, you have whatever, remember the colors, purple, orange, pink, if you wish to, but orange and purple are the main colors, internationally recognized colors for victims of gender-based violence abuse. And so wear your colors, turn out, and tomorrow is also Shapo Pai Day. Yes, so you can, to shade, it's Shapo Pai Day, yes, it can also shade you from the sun. So if you have your Shapo Pai, you can wear it as well. And so we begin, as I said, we gather from 2:30, from 2 o'clock, whatever time you're in town, and you make yourself available next to the St. Alphonsus Catholic Church, next to the Goodwill Savannah. And you will, from there, we have, I say from 2:50 to 2:55, we gather, we pray, we sing some songs of freedom, songs of deliverance, and then we begin to march from 3. We will give you the route. And so when we leave Pottersfield Savannah, we'll walk along, we go Goodwill Road, we go onto Isilobak Bridge and onto Independence Street. We turn King George V Street, we go up north towards Bath Road, we go west along Hillsborough Street, south along Old Street, west along Cox Street, and you proceed southwards along the Dame Eugenia Charles Boulevard, and we culminate and we end at the match at 4:30 at the cruise ship berth, where the meeting begins, the rally really begins, where we have speeches and we have solidarity messages. We have both on both sides, both genders. We have male and female persons who will turn out in large numbers to turn out and speak out. Those of you who are already not on the program as a stated speaker, but you wish to say something, we invite you as well to say something. Do not be afraid, stand up. And so from there, we will have that discussion and we will look at the next steps, the way forward, what are the strategies that we're going to use, and what exactly is going to happen after tomorrow. That we will discuss as well, because we want all our women to continue to support, because the movement is not going to stop from tomorrow. We want to say to Rosie Felix, who has continually held the fort, she will also join us tomorrow as well. And those of you who can join her along when she has her thing on during the week, you join her. So the struggle is not just for one set, but it's for all of us to stand up. So we're asking women all over Dominica to turn out in massive numbers. Let us walk the streets. Let us show that we are not afraid, that we are a force to be reckoned with, that we can fight our battle. And we also have the men with us who will support us as well on that end, because I'm sure a lot of men in Dominica to support women, because I heard a few men making noise about it and nonsense they're doing, and the woman is not in parliament. Why are you talking about her? You know, so there were some men who were enraged by the utterances of the speaker against Annette. And there is no way to tell me that you take it out of context. There is no context. And we do not want to know what the threshold is. The threshold is you do not abuse women in any way, any shape or form. And that is the threshold that we're talking about.
But it's said in a different environment or somewhere, you'd have used
stronger language. What would you have called her in another? What exactly would you have called her in another setting? You know, and this is what that is. And you hear this smoke coming out. And this is my point. This is what I want to hammer down to our women when Paris. It's not too late for you to stand. One of you at least be brave enough to turn out tomorrow. One of you be brave and stand up and speak to women, especially the minister responsible for women's affairs. Come and stand and speak to the women of Dominica, to tell the women of Dominica what exactly are you doing to help their plight and to help their cause. Because too long, our young girls are being brutalized and victimized by those in authority who feel they have the upper hand, they have the economic power, they can do them what they want, and they do not have a job, and they are seeking assistance. But in order to get the assistance, they have to be brutalized, they have to be sexually used in any way possible. But this is the time for us to stand and be counted. And as women in Dominica, we are telling you enough is enough. And tomorrow is just a start of what is to come.
Let's take a few more calls as we wind down. Hello, good night. Welcome to the Workers' Voice.
Yes, good evening, Sister Josie.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Well, very good program. I can remember when the former Speaker of the House died. Levi Peters stood up in the House, and then he was just saying how the former Speaker was standing up for women. And when I hear that man say what he say about the Stanford in the House, I was enraged. I was really enraged. And when I heard the women of Dominica, the strong women of Dominica stand up for women in Dominica, I feel pleased, and I just had a joy in my heart.
Thank you very much for your contribution. God bless you. Hello, good evening. I'm final caller on overseas line. Welcome. Hello. Caller, are you listening on the overseas line? Okay, missed that one. Mr. Louis Robinson, I know you were trying to reach us. Good evening to you. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Workers' Voice.
Good evening to you, Sprague. Good evening to Miss Joseph and the others that is in the house.
Good evening.
It's long enough we're just talking in Dominica. We're talking for decades, no one not listening. I think now is not the time for just walking, now is the time for action. Now is the time to remove these fellas into office. Take them out completely. I don't know when we're going to stop talking in Dominica and act now. Police shouldn't have anything to interfere with about road blocking because there's no laws in this country. And I think the police are not doing their work. If they're just doing their work, they will not be blocking the road. They make themselves like fools because if they know exactly about their country and the condition that the country is heading to under this government, they will never block road. They will give us the opportunity to go in front of the financial center and voice our opinion. We're not fighting, we're not armed, we don't have anything at all. They are armed and dangerous, and we without arms than our hands. So why they are blocking road, a few people, a handful, they can control by their stalking on the other side. So I want to know where they're heading to as police officers, if they're working for the state, or they're working for a government, or they're working for the Labour Party. We would like to know that from them because JSF should resign from the head go back down. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm happy that you put the police on notice. I am not for breaking the law in any which way, but I believe the police should take control of the role of the police to protect and serve. If people are voicing their opinion and they're not disturbing, or they're walking around, they're not disturbing, they should be able to escort the police.
Yes,
the people, sorry.
Yes.
Even they always use the US as an example. The US, you will never see the US blocking people going. If they're going to vandalize or destroy or cause problems, they will stop them. Mm-hmm. But if people go out there protesting or voicing their opinion and
Hector,
walking,
the thing is you have spontaneous protests.
Yeah.
It's like they decide, it's like immediately something happened that they did not like, they will stand up.
Right.
And I remember the G summit they had in Glasgow talking about climate change. A set of people just decided that, we're going to stand up to all those who are there, and nobody blocked them.
Nobody.
And this is people power. That's what I'm telling people. It's not just, yes, you tell us we talk and it's then, but the people have to turn out. It will not happen without the people turn out. Dominicans have to decide, now is the time for me to stand.
Yeah, because there's a lot of activities. They're saying people not organizing activities, but every activity that is being organized is the same set of people you see in there. When are we going to break that? Let us use that word Roosevelt's carried word, break the threshold.
Yeah, exactly.
And people show up,
sure.
and that's what we like to see tomorrow.
tomorrow. That's what it is. Show up tomorrow. Women, especially women of Dominica. It doesn't matter where you work, what job you have. Women of all walks of life, farmers, especially public officers, who have been suffering for so long. Turn out in large numbers. Turn out and make your voices, make your presence felt. And this is what we are asking for tomorrow.
So let's just take this final call. Somebody on the overseas line trying to reach us. Good evening. Welcome to the Workers' Voice. As we wind down. Hello.
Good evening.
Yes.
In a true democratic country, your police would not be going out there with guns and tear gas when people are demonstrating peacefully. But you're being run by a communist leader. The man is a communist. Don't get it wrong. And Dominica is not a democratic country right now. What we have there is full-fledged socialism. You're having a simple demonstration. People demonstrating in New York, in all the different states. Do you see tear gas being used on them? Or they all there is making guns after the people? No. Only this Caliwas in Dominica, this is possible in Dominica. But sometimes the time will come. Nothing lasts forever. Have a good night.
Thank you very much, caller. Peter Thomas in New Jersey. How are you doing, my friend? I hope all is well with you and your family down there in New Jersey. As we wind up, Jessica, it was nice having you here.
Very good
discussion.
I want to say good night to my brother Jerome James in St. Croix. He usually listens, always does.
Yeah. and Webster is
up in
in the Bronx. Advice Auto Shop, Webster,
so
Field,
all
these guys, Marcos, a gang of them. They're always there. Mm-hmm. My brother used Phil, the owner, and all the other guys, Marcos from
all those who continue to support the struggle for freedom, for people, for Dominican people to be free one more time, to enjoy the nature isle really of this Caribbean country that we have. We have lovely nature and culture, and it's a pity that we cannot even enjoy this.
And Dominicans are so proud.
Of course.
And something that I recognize recently is that a lot of labor rights are reaching out to me, and they really want to vent.
Yeah.
But because of the situation, they're afraid. Some living in apartments.
When you tell them that you put them in the apartment and there's nothing they can do because you hold it over their heads. Yeah. And if they're working with the NEP, but if you want to go somewhere with them, you have to tell them that they must go, and you write their name on a paper and you threaten them. Yeah. The worst thing to do is to threaten somebody's livelihood, however small it is, because you have not even made preparation for them to be able to have proper sustainable employment. Yeah. This is what they have. This is what you have given to them, but you still have it hanging over their heads that if they shake, you take it from them, and you threaten them that if they don't come to vote for you, you will take it away from them. And our people, we have to learn to be strong, that when you go in that polling booth, it is you and God alone who is there. Nobody else knows. Right. And we have to be strong enough to realize the little that they give you just before election time come. You suffer for 4.5 years. In the half year, they give you a little bit, and then they ask you to vote for them again. And you go back to the status quo again. The same thing repeats itself, and you've never grown, you've never gone anywhere. The only people who go somewhere are the people who cause you to vote for them. These are the people who progress in Dominica, and the rest of you catching hell. And it is time for that to stop. So make it a date tomorrow. Turn out in massive numbers. Join us, the men. Join us, all of you who can join us. Join us tomorrow as we seek solutions to some of the problems that we have in Dominica.
United to preserve the dignity of women.
Dominica. Yes.
Dominican women in Dominica. Good evening to my good friend in the Virgin Islands, Mr. Fimbo Warrington. Hope you're doing okay this evening. A lot of friends sending messages. Just want to reach out and touch each and every one of you. Listening to the Workers' Voice. Yeah.
Yes, let me say good evening to Mado. She's listening. I'm listening as well. So Benedict, John Baptist, Mado, John Baptist as well in the States as well. They always listen.
Yes,
they always support the cause.
Yeah, and we just want to thank them for doing that. It was nice having you here, Mrs. Joseph, for the hour to discuss that very important engagement tomorrow with the Dominican people. And we want women in general to be there, and also not see that activity as a woman activity or just about the abuse of women, but other groups in Dominica, the truckers, the teachers, lawyers, nurses, unemployed, everybody, farmers, as an activity for you as well. Yes. The struggle continues because the problem we have there is the issue that is surrounding each and every one of us is the same one.
It's the same one.
The same one. This government is the problem. The big stone in the
Exactly.
road. How we have to remove it collectively and move our country forward. Thank you for joining us for this hour. We want to thank Q95 for having us in studios for an extra few minutes
Yes.
to make sure that we get the information out there and people show up tomorrow. I just want to thank Mrs. Joseph for being here on behalf of the leadership of the United Workers' Party, our leader, Dr. Thompson Fountain, our deputy leader, Mr. Clement Maslin, our president, Mr. Linton, and our vice president, who is in studios with us, Mrs. Francisca Joseph, and the rest of the leadership of our party. I want to thank you for joining us. As I always say, find a place of worship on the weekend to thank God for seeing you through the week and also to ask you to give you guidance, see you through the new week. Tomorrow, 3 o'clock.
Pottersville Savannah will march through the streets of Roseau to the Bayfront.
And if you cannot make the march, join us
on
after
the
work on the Bayfront. We'll see you there. God bless you. Have a wonderful weekend. Tomorrow is Journée Shapupai. The Shapupai initiative came from Mr. Edison James and the United Workers' Party. He told me it was from his wife, is Mrs. James, who initiated that thing to bring economic activities. And it started off well. I'm hoping that it can build back and that people can make varieties of art, have competition with Shapupai, and young people appreciate it. My son have his hat, and he told me tomorrow, Daddy, I'll be a farmer.
And there were great initiatives by the United Workers' Party.
Very good. And because a lot of people making hats right now. When I went to buy the hat for my son at the old market, and I went back and picked it up. The young lady told me the amount of she's getting requests. Everybody
wants. So it's a good economic, build the economy.
Right, and people plant.
Can you imagine if each of these districts had that thing going on, where people make and then Shopify across the land, people buy and sell, and you have the economic, but people don't have the economic power, they don't have the spending power.
Just to imagine, just to think of every school, in every
and
village,
how much, exactly.
Parents, students, teachers, the staff have to buy, and then you go across the board, other people are working.
This is what it was intended to do.
So across the board in the rural community, people,
just like the World Creole Festival, that is what it was intended for. But along the way,
All right, we could go on and on, but we have to leave. Thank you for joining us, and we will end by this song with this song, and it's my theme song for the Independence season, written by yours truly, Levi Dominic. I just want you to listen to this one as we leave. Thank you once again, Mrs. Joseph. God bless you, and safe ride home.
Yes, thank you very much.
Jamais ça, Dominique, t'es tout comme ça. Ouais, pas jamais ça, Dominique, t'es pas comme ça. Ouais, pas jamais ça, Dominique, t'es comme ça. À nous, nous, pour développer pays, nous. Levez, Dominique, levez, t'es tombé, levez, Dominique, levez, c'est au paradis, levez, Dominique, levez, t'es tombé, à nous tomber, pour lever, Dominique, nous, pour yon pays, Dominique, pour bienvenue, pour mi belle life, Every other wako, use mercandance, every music for you. Univer voye kaki e whitey kubuli, leve domini, leve, iteli tombe, leve domini, leve, ise opa wadi, leve domini, leve, iteli tombe, anoto balbe, leve dominic nou, dominic Duval, ini bel krete. Bien, dans la même bonté.
Now, deforestation in Bolivia is soaring. Last year, it jumped by very nearly a third. It comes as there's increased international pressure to reduce deforestation in the Amazon to reduce climate change. Well, the newsroom's Phoebe Hobson is here with me. Phoebe, what's going on? Why is this deforestation increasing so much?